I had a young beekeeper, Annalise, who her and her father had never kept bees before, and she was a brand new beekeeper. My youngest customer to purchase one of my vacuums, and she actually showed me because they caught like 18 swarms the first year that they had the vacuum. And when I asked her how many swarms of that 18 did they lose, because I was used to putting them in and sometimes losing the swarm, actually seeing the swarm go down through the hive body box and then just flying away out of the bottom. So that was pretty frustrating. But she replied they hadn't lost any of their swarms. And I thought that that was pretty impossible until I saw how they were releasing their swarms. And it's one of the techniques that I've adapted as well, because I learned a new trick from a young beekeeper that none of my old beekeepers were telling me about or had said anything about. So I don't know if any of you guys out there had been doing it, but we're going to pretend that we have our bees contain mainly the swarm, and because it's not as much of a problem with bees that you've removed of the cutout, because you have the brood and comb and everything that encourages them to move down. But we've got a swarm, and they're not used to this box. So instead of releasing them in the traditional way, the top down, you're going to put them underneath. You've got your hive body box ready to go. This has actually old comb and everything, which could serve the purpose for the swarm to attract them up. I typically include a frame feeder inside and some open frames in that, so that they have plenty of room. But I'll just go ahead and get it ready for my swarm like this. And one of the things that I didn't mention is that whether it be a swarm or a removal, you have to make sure it's dark, that you have the top covered. If there's any daylight, that sort of thing, the bees just won't move down. They'll spend all their time coming up to the top. So whether it's a swarm or a removal, you need to make sure that it's dark. So we have our swarm contained in this bottom box. You just pull out the slide. So instead of releasing from the top down, you're releasing the swarm from the bottom up. And it works great. In fact, it works so fast that a lot of times you can release them, wait 5 minutes, and then just set the whole hive body box to the side, remove your catch box from underneath, and then replace your hive body box on a bottom board, and you're good to go. But one of the tricks that Annalise had, and I've duplicated and had good success with it, I leave the swarm captured for a couple of days with this on a bottom board so that they have ventilation. So with this screen surface down here on a bottom board, they're getting air from the bottom up, and but they remain captured. I'm not worried about food or anything, because they have that sugar water in the frame feeder contained inside. So they can go ahead and begin constructing wax almost immediately after being released into the catch box. So I'll leave them captured for a couple of days. If I need the catch box, then, like I say, I'll just remove this, set it to the side, and then remove the bottom box. It's a lot easier with two people, because literally I can pick it up and hold it while my wife removes the bottom catch box. You set it back down, and you're good to go. And you'll be impressed at how successful your swarm capturing will be, because I think I've only had one swarm leave since I've started using the technique that Annalise showed me. So you can always learn things from the old beekeepers and the very young beekeepers. And I'd recommend using this method from releasing from the bottom up on all of your swarms.